We were on hiatus, but now we are back with All American Episode 9, Keep Your Head Up, and that is exactly what Spencer is doing right now. He is keeping his head up despite the traumatic flashbacks. Also, Coop wants revenge, and finally, Spencer and Leila are relationship official. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, AfterBuzzers! We are back. We are so happy to be back. We are still missing Angelo right now, but we do have the rest of our female panel here with us. And before we get started, the brief rundown for today is that we're going to be talking Episode 9 of All American, and we do have a very special segment for you guys later on where we talk about who each of us think the MVP of the week is for this week's episode, and we also are going to be getting into news and gossip later on, so definitely stick around for that. But before we get started, I'm your host, Mina Wahab, and to my left we have...
Hey, it's your girl Kris, and thanks for tuning into AfterBuzz. Shout out to Tupac. Keep your head up.
Well, welcome everyone. It's Sierra, and I am so excited to dive into this episode.
So let's just get into overall thoughts, because I know for me, I was crying up a storm. Sierra had to get me some napkins, paper towel. It really, really got to me. I don't think there has ever been a more emotional episode of All American. Yeah. Thoughts?
Wow, let's start with it got really deep really quickly. It's amazing how they switched from just football in high school with teenage drama to how deep it's going right now, and it's kind of surprising. I'm so glad that they got this on TV and this kind of TV show, I guess, because it's so for teenagers and things, but then it gets real deep really quickly, and it's on CW, so that's amazing because usually most of the deep TV shows are on HBO or things like that, but it's on CW. It's going deep, and I'm excited. Whew, so excited.
No, I completely agree. I think that was one thing I didn't necessarily love at the beginning. I wanted it to be deeper, and I wanted them to talk about more serious topics, and so I was hysterically crying at the end, and that was definitely what I asked for, so it was great.
I feel like right from the opening scene, we see Spencer running, and I just the colors. If you pay attention to the colors, it was definitely more of a grayish, bluish tone. Right. Everything changed because normally we're so used to seeing the happy, sunny days of them playing football, and it's very light and, oh, we're in high school right now. Yeah. But now it's oh, we're in high school, but this is real world stuff. Yeah. It's not just school right now, it's life.
Real issues. Yes.
And I think that's what a lot of people tend to forget when you watch high school shows is oh, it's relationships and love and crushes and heartbreak. But no, this is actually real stuff here.
Exactly. So, I feel they almost added some writers because it was so just teen drama at first. So how did it get so deep so quick? I don't know, but shout out to All American for that.
Yeah, and all the flashbacks at the beginning where we thought we understood the characters, and then you see them whenever they're so much younger, and it just makes it so much more emotional.
Let's get into those flashbacks, because for me, I was
triggered.
Extremely shocked because I don't think we fully had an understanding of the relationship between Shawn and Spencer. We kind of saw it as, oh, they knew each other before, but there's beef between them and there's tension. But no, they were best friends growing up, and I never knew that. I never even assumed that their relationship went that deep until this episode, and that's why it brought all the feels towards the end. It's because they really worked on cultivating that relationship through flashbacks. Yeah. So I wonder why they're doing this now. It's kind of interesting how we kind of assume that Shawn is one way, or we assume that Spencer is one way, and then we see all these different sides of the story in flashbacks, not just from Spencer's point of view, but we also learn things from Tyrone's point of view as well later on at the funeral. So what did you think of all of the flashbacks?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it's almost like Spencer didn't even really understand how deep and connected he was with Shawn. You know what I mean? We were figuring it out while he was, and it was once he passed, now he was kind of reflecting and being oh, wow, we really do go way back. We have all these intense things that we've been through. We both protected each other multiple times, and we're just kind of figuring that out with Spencer,
Honestly, Spencer did say on a couple occasions that they were friends at the beginning, but it seemed like Spencer just thought that Shawn just changed on him and just went this horrible route. But then in this episode, it shows that actually Shawn was protecting you from going this route that he had to be kind of forced upon because of his brother. And he didn't really change. He's actually protecting you. And I think that was the biggest, like, oh, so they stopped being friends because of this. And it's unfortunate.
See, that's what, like, I was so curious about, was that he always kept saying throughout, oh, Spencer has better things to do.
That is what got me.
Yeah.
That quote is
I
what
literally
got me.
caught it right there before even Tyrone told before he even told Spencer that he always said he had better things to do. I caught it right there when he said it in that first flashback. I'm like, dang, he was looking out for him right there. That's crazy.
You know, I always interpreted that phrase, like, oh, when someone says, oh, she has better things to do, I always interpret it as super snarky and like,
Totally.
oh, he's too good for us now. So it's so crazy how that same exact phrase could have an entirely different meaning by the end of the episode. So that just goes to show the great writing and also context within the episode and how they framed everything. So that was really great on the writers end of the show. So whatever they're doing, you know, you
Good
guys
job.
keep
Keep
it
it
up.
up.
We applaud you over here for
Yes.
it, at least. So yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the relationship also between Coop and Shawn, because Coop is taking this really hard as well. And what I thought was interesting was the fact that we always see Tyrone in this episode kind of protecting or no, not Tyrone, sorry. We see Shawn protecting Spencer, saying he has better things to do. How come he didn't do the same thing for Coop? That's what I want to know, because they had such a close dynamic, and yet he still kind of had her as his ride or die, instead of kind of telling her, oh no, like, stay out of this life, the way that Spencer does. He kind of fully immerses her into it.
I feel like he kind of did. Like, when she asked for a job, he gave her the barbershop job instead. Like, it was not necessarily, I'm kind of protecting you because you live here, you don't have the way out. But he was, like, protecting her just, like, at a closer distance. Like, I don't want you in this gang, but I'll get you this barbershop job to kind of help me with the connects. But you're not going to be fully immersed into this life. So I think it was, like, it was protection, I believe, just not as, you know, big as Spencer, because Spencer, you know, had to go. He left.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that she's a girl, like, she's a female, you know what I mean? And we've kind of seen that throughout the whole season, where people, I hate to say they don't take her as seriously, but she's constantly being reminded, like, she's not tough enough, or, you know, what's the other guy's name that ended up having her get jumped at the end?
Tyrone.
Tyrone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is the first time that we're seeing him actually take her seriously and think that she's, like, tough enough to get, unfortunately, jumped. Like, that was a whole nother thing in itself, but I think that has a lot to do with it.
Man.
Yeah, I'm just like thinking, wow, there's just so much in this, and it's interesting to see how both Spencer and Coop react so differently to loss, because everyone has a different way of processing grief. Some people emotionally shut down, other people decide, okay, this death means something, so I'm gonna do something in their honor, and some people just want revenge, and we see that stark contrast between Spencer's character and between Coop, where Coop really wants revenge. She wants to get back at the people who did this to her best friend. And Spencer's like, no, that's not going to do anything. And we know why he feels that way, because of his past and because of seeing the route and the path that Shawn ended up taking. So what do you think about those complementary paths to processing grief?
Well, I think about, like, his coach, who kind of comes from, he was talking about all the burden that he's had from whenever he was growing up. And then I look at Spencer, he's, like, getting mad at his coach for kind of projecting his burden onto him and, like, overly protecting him. But he's, like, kind of doing the same thing with Coop. You know what I mean? Like, he's going through this whole thing with Shawn and his own grief, and he's trying to, like, do the most to protect her. And I don't know, it's just kind of interesting that, like, the same thing is happening to him, but he's in, like, two different perspectives, you know?
Yeah, I really think it's just probably the his Spencer's surroundings now, because he's getting advice from Coach, he's getting advice from his mom to, you know, not go down that road, or don't go through revenge, or think too much about the situation, whereas Coop probably doesn't have, actually she doesn't have it, because her mom, you know, kicked her out of the house, so she doesn't have somebody to give her advice like this. So Spencer is really the person that's doing it for her. But of course, after she learned that Tyrone really set this man up, it's going down now. So
I don't know,
she's like,
happen.
at first she was going to let it go. I thought she was going to let it go. Then she found out about the guy who killed Shawn and is now a part of Tyrone's clique. Yeah, she's going in.
now that we have this information, what advice would both of you give to Coop moving forward in terms of processing the grief and what she should do?
You know what? I'm on the fence. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I kind of would probably do what Coop did, because what Coop is going to do, because I feel that revenge. Like, she really knew Shawn's story. He was trying to get out. Honestly, I think Tyrone killed him because he was trying to get out. So like I see the fence, but then, you know, you see Spencer's side where Shawn killed the person who killed his brother. So I feel like, you know, I get both sides. So I'm really on the fence. I'm not going to go either way with it.
I would just tell Coop, I just feel like she's overcompensating for other things in her life. Like, I would just tell her, focus on yourself. Like, you don't need to prove anything to anyone else. Do your own thing. Make yourself the best version of yourself. And don't worry about being too tough or fitting in or doing whatever she thinks needs to be doing, because like, she's so loved. She has so many people in her life that do love her. I feel like she's overcompensating a little bit.
Yeah, she definitely is. I think it's a loyalty thing, though, more than anything else. She kind of feels the need to avenge, you know, her best friend's death, and I get where that's coming from, but kind of like what Spencer's saying, it's not going to do any good. And that's also what Tyrone's friend said, is he's gone now, what difference does it make? Which is kind of true. Like, what are you going to do? Like, it's, the deed's already done. I just want to know more details of, like, how that transaction took place with the money and with Shawn getting killed. I just want to know why, how, who's the mastermind behind it, if it really is Tyrone or if it's Tyrone with someone else. Like, we don't know all the facts. We're just assuming at this point.
And, like, when it was planned. That's, like, what I really want to know also.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think it was planned right there. I'm not gonna lie. See, I'm good at predicting stuff on these episodes. Tyrone definitely got him killed. Period.
Yeah,
and Coop is gonna.
I wouldn't be surprised, but we'll wait until predictions to get super into it, because I want to hear all the conspiracy theories. So let's get into not the MVP part, but kind of like how Spencer is the MVP now because he's player of the year, but Coach is also coach of the year.
Yeah.
So are these well-deserved titles? Because we kind of know about Coach's backstory, how he will stop at nothing to be coach of the year, in terms of letting his son pass the drug test, covering that up from his daughter Olivia. Does he deserve to be coach of the year? He benched Asher, and that's fine. I mean, I think that's fine, but what do we think of him as a coach overall?
I think that he loves these kids and he cares about these kids. I definitely think sometimes he thinks about himself a little bit too much, but I think at the end of the day, he definitely deserves it. It's kind of one of those situations where, like, maybe the ends justify the means a little bit. I don't know. I think he deserves to be coach of the year. He's killing it. They're doing so well. And they're all good kids.
Yeah, thanks to Spencer. He's going hard. He's going hard right now. So I think all of this is kind of selfish right now, because it's all about his name. This is his first year. He wanted to prove that he was the best to Malibu coach, to, you know, everyone that hired him, especially everyone that's trying to get him fired, like Asher's dad. So I think he has a lot to prove, and he's going off his selfish ways right now. Of course, he loves the kids, but in his mind, he's first, for sure, right now.
Does Spencer deserve to be player of the year?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we love Spencer.
We love Spencer.
So I feel like Spencer is having a little bit of imposter syndrome, where he feels like he's not worthy enough for this title, that he kind of just got lucky and fell into it, and that he got it because he came from Crenshaw and moved over. What would you say to people who feel that type of imposter syndrome? Like, I'm not worthy enough, I'm just lucky. Because I've met a lot of people who felt that way, even in college. Like, oh, like, people would think, oh, I didn't, like, that they didn't deserve to get into UCLA and that it was a mistake. And I would just say, well, even if it, like, let's say worst case scenario, it was a mistake, I see it as, like, you were given an opportunity, make the most out of it, because people get lucky all the time. So everything is fair in that regard, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's kind of also what the mom was talking about. Like, this is an equal opportunity. You're not given a head start. You're given the same priority that all these other kids are getting. So take advantage of that. And I thought that was so beautiful, because a lot of people do feel kind of like, you know, they just got lucky, or they hit the jackpot, or they're not worthy. So what would you say? What would you say about all of that?
It's always better to be good than lucky. And whenever you work hard, whenever lucky opportunities come about, that's when you can take advantage of them, because you're prepared. So I don't know. I understand where Spencer is coming from, but I'm happy that he has someone like his mom to kind of bring him back down to earth and be like, you totally deserve this. And the advice I would give is, like, you only know how hard you're working and you know how hard you're capable of working. And so that would be my advice.
Yeah, I mean, I just remind him that he was on that field busting his butt, and that's how he got. That's why Coach Billy came down and recruited you. Like, you busted your butt on that football field. That's not luck. That's not, oh, why couldn't this opportunity be for someone else? You did well on that football field. That's your talent, and now you're moving to the next level. Period. Like, it's not luck.
And even like you said, like, even if it is luck, like, take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do believe you have an announcement for us right now.
I do. After Buzzers, our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows, from dramas to reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There is no network that works harder to serve television fans, but we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments and we'll thank you on air. For now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yes, and don't forget to listen to us on iTunes and like the video below and leave comments about what you think about this week's episode in the description box below. We will shout you out on air for doing so. So thanks for being so interactive so far, guys. Let's get into the relationship between Leila and Spencer, because it's
I've been waiting.
finally official. Finally official.
Not a secret.
Secret official.
It's secret official, yeah. Have you guys ever had one of those?
No.
I'm like, I think I'm triggered. I think I might right now.
She might have one right now. No, I've never had that. Like, you're gonna claim me, put me on your Instagram, all of that. I'm not playing games.
Yeah.
So why do you think it is this secret official type of dynamic?
Oh, definitely because of Asher in the school. Like, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
Just other people's opinions. They don't want all of that on them right now. Don't care about any of the drama. They just want to be together, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think they're moving too fast?
No.
No. I'm curious though, now that Asher knows
Yeah.
that they're together, if it's still gonna be a secret.
Yeah, it will, but I feel like he's gonna do something. He slammed those flowers down like he's about to do something.
Asher's a mess.
He is.
I mean, do you think Leila should have been so upfront with him and told him
No.
that
No.
she's in a relationship?
She's always tiptoeing around his feelings and like literally treating him like a little boy and just being so cautious of the way that he feels. I think she.
You
just
thought
kinda,
was cautious of her to be like being
in
No.
general, she's usually like that with
Yeah.
him, and so I feel like in that moment she was like, "I am like we're not dating. I can say this however I want," and then she kind of reflected and was like, "Maybe
I'm
that was
with
a little
Spencer.
harsh," but
yeah.
yeah,
No, I think she should have said no. We broke up for a reason, but dang, I'm with Spencer though. Like
Yeah, it's like,
he's gonna go straight for Spencer. He's gonna do something. He's horrible. He's a horrible person. Probably force him to get hurt or something. I don't know. I don't want
He
to see it.
definitely reacts in ways that are really volatile when he
Yeah.
doesn't get what he wants. It's a very
it's
unusual.
alarming.
Yeah, and I almost want to know like why he's like that, because not everyone reacts that way. But
You've seen his dad?
Yeah, we've seen it time and time again. When he doesn't get what he wants, he's like, okay, I'm gonna sabotage. Sabotage. It never works, and he keeps doing it over and over again. But let's hope he learned from his mistakes. I definitely think that Leila was in the wrong to be like, we're in a relationship, because that is way too fast, way too triggering. And I also don't get how authentic her going to Asher is to check up on him out of the blue.
I think it's
I
authentic.
think so too.
What do you think that was okay of her to do that though?
I think
Yeah.
that she really does care about him. I think that in that moment she probably I'm like acting like I'm Leila. I think in that moment she probably was feeling a little bit taken advantage of, and I think that she's constantly thinking about his feelings and like constantly being nice, and whenever he just assumed like, oh, we can just hop right back into it, she was like, I'm fine, I'm with Spencer. No. Do I think it was like abrupt and harsh? Yeah, definitely, but I understand the intention.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's really checking up on him because he's dang near suicidal. He has no family right now, nowhere really to live. He doesn't have football. Like, what does he have? He doesn't have his girlfriend anymore. What does he have? Like, I would check up on my boyfriend too. Like, ex-boyfriend too, because I have a heart. She's very sweet. She's a sweet girl. So I would check on him. I think it's authentic for sure.
Okay, yeah, I have such mixed feelings about this. I'm like, okay, girl, like, you already messed everything up in a way by, you know, flirting the moment you saw Spencer James, day one, flirting with him right in front of Asher. So I feel like it was kind of written in the stars to begin with that this was a relationship that would eventually come to fruition. So for her to kind of try to be like the nice guy or the angel and go back to him and protect him, that's not your job anymore. Like, you've already done a lot of damage. He's already attached to you. Ask Olivia to go to him. Like, I know that might be a little awkward considering like what happened. Awkward. But Asher and Olivia are much better friends than Asher and Leila. So I think she should have kind of sent a messenger out to do that and kind of stayed on the sidelines. But she was trying, you know.
She was trying.
I just kept thinking that she was going to cheat on Spencer.
Heck no.
Did we ever decide what her sign was? Did we ever decide what we thought it was?
Her astrological sign. I feel
what did y'all think about that?
She is Pisces because she has a big heart.
Cute.
And she's generous, but she's overly emotional.
Yeah.
Even if she doesn't show it. She shows it with
the
Spencer.
expert on this stuff. I don't
know nothing about astrology.
So, I don't know though. I have to like think about my answer a little longer.
Okay. we'll connect next week.
Yes, we will. We'll have our astrological sessions. So let's talk about the relationship between Jordan and Riley now. What do we think of that? Because there's a lot of drama. A lot of drama. He didn't answer his phone because it was turned off.
Like, I get that she's like problematic, but you need to communicate. That kind of made me upset. I don't know. I still didn't really feel bad for her whenever she got upset with him for accusing her of telling the coach about the marijuana. But I also don't really think that she necessarily did it, but I still think she's bad news, and I don't think that they should be together.
Does she need to be supportive of his football playing?
Yes, that's what I don't like about her. Actually, how do you? This is his love. Like, the biggest thing in a relationship is to support what they love to do. Like, how is it going to work if you're like, no, take off and be with me? Like, what? Just take off and be with me, girl. Get some hobbies, okay? Go do your own thing. Go get some friends and do your own thing, and let him be a freaking football player.
Do you think you should unconditionally support like your boyfriend's hobbies, no matter what it is?
Like, it's
like if it's gaming or like whatever it is, like you should just unconditionally support that.
I feel like if he's a little like too obsessed, it's good for her to be like, hey, maybe we should do something else or get your mind off of this and like help him decompress from whatever it is that he's obsessed with. But that's like not the case. She's just like completely trying to ruin his football career. Like, she doesn't value it at all. Like, you have to have a little bit of value in like your partner's passions.
For her to say, oh yeah, we'll have more time together now.
What kind of answer was that?
Oh my gosh.
It pissed me off. Okay, because I'm into sports and I played high school and college sports. So when she said that, I was like, girl, go away. Like, I wish a boyfriend would have told me, oh, good, I'm glad you messed up. I'm glad you got caught smoking marijuana. Now we can be together.
That's
You're crazy and you're out of my life.
So she didn't have do you think she had the right to be angry later on?
I mean, if she didn't do it, yeah, sure, I guess.
I think that, everyone has the right to feel however they want to feel. But,
he did blame her.
It felt a little overdramatic.
Yeah, she was like,
she was a little
if I don't answer, my phone's not charged. I was like, this is too much. I can't handle it.
That's Leo energy right there.
Yeah.
The drama.
She might be a Leo.
Yeah, no.
What about the relationship between Coach and his wife? Because we haven't seen her at all.
She wasn't even in this episode.
She wasn't even at his Coach of the Year. What are you doing? Like, what are you working on?
Literally, when he said that, I was like, because she forced him to support her at her little lawyer thing, right? So why didn't you come support him at this one of his biggest things? He said he was depressed before he got this job. Now he got the Coach of the Year. Why are you not there? And I remember you saying like she was cheating, maybe. So she might be doing something. I now agree with maybe your prediction because where are you?
I think that's going to be like a season 2 thing. I think right now
Cheating?
there's like some other
That's a
storylines.
lot.
I think season 2, hopefully we get a season 2.
If that happens,
We
I would like.
definitely will.
I think so too.
I feel
Absolutely.
it coming. The writing just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
And also
They're
I
getting
feel like
confident.
the fans are super invested. And the actor who plays Jordan went on Instagram Live today to talk about the show.
Cute.
And there were so many questions and just fans
awesome.
going crazy asking about everything.
That's
so
cute.
I feel like
I'm
the
gonna go check it
fan
out.
base is super loyal for this
Good.
show.
I love it.
Let's get into our special segment right now. We are going to be talking about who we think is the MVP of this week's episode. All right, so who wants to go first? I'll go with I'll go with the obvious choice. I'll start out first, and for MVP of this week's episode, this is kind of the obvious choice, but I'm definitely gonna say Spencer James, just because despite all of the trauma that he's going through, all of the flashbacks, all of the regret, he is still moving forward. He doesn't have an ounce of revenge in his body. He doesn't believe in payback, and there are so many things he could be doing in terms of going in a downward spiral, avoiding responsibility, not stepping up to the plate. But regardless, he still takes responsibility for everything he does and everything that he doesn't do. So when he misses a scrimmage, he tells Coach, I'm so sorry about that. But he still stands his ground and says, I have something more important to do right now.
True.
So for him, I think it's one of those rare cases where he's in high school, but he still knows where to place his priorities, because a lot of kids are like, no, I'm going to place it with my friends or partying or drinking or doing whatever. And with Spencer, he's like, no, it's important for me to be here. I have to go support Coop. I have to go to the funeral. I have to do this. And he really sits down with Coop, no matter, like, if it means risking his life or putting himself in danger's way by going and being surrounded by that gang to try to pull her out of there and do for her what he was never able to do with Shawn. So I feel like even tracing back to, like, all of the flashbacks, like, we just see someone with such an innocent and pure heart, and the friendship was so beautiful. So the fact that he still holds that close to him after all these years, and the fact that he had such a beautiful speech during Player of the Year.
Yes, beautiful.
Just meant so much. I just think the fact that you're acknowledging all these people and saying, like, these are the people I want to thank. They didn't get this opportunity, but I'm going to do this for them. And it's not just about football at this point. It's about me giving back to the community that I came from. That's a beautiful thing, because you're not selling out. You're moving forward, and to move forward, you don't have to always leave people behind. You can bring them with you eventually once you make it to the top. So that's why I vote Spencer MVP of this week's episode.
I'm going to say my MVP is Coach Billy Baker.
I was afraid you were going to say mine. I got scared.
I would say it because the good advice that he's giving to Spencer, to not just put it all on his back and get stressed, but just remember that you have multiple priorities. You don't just have to have one. Your priority can be your family and your career. You know what I'm saying? You can have two priorities. And also, you know, saving his son from... Sorry, I'm so bad. But saving his son from missing the drug test, because, hey, who wouldn't do that for their kids? Who wouldn't? I'm saving my son. And also, you know, I guess those are the two biggest reasons. Just the good advice and, you know, saving his son. So shout out to the MVP, my MVP, Coach Billy Baker.
My MVP is Spencer's mom. And I don't think we've ever given her the MVP award. That's my picture. But she's always keeping Spencer so grounded. She has another son, and she's working. She's a single mom. And I feel like whether it's like Coop or Spencer, anyone, she's just always giving amazing advice. She's always so loving. And she always shows up. She's always at whatever event she needs to be at, whether it's the funeral or the award ceremony that they had today. She's just always there for them.
Amen.
That is such a beautiful answer. I almost forgot about that.
I know.
Yeah, I assumed you would just say Layla.
I always am like Leila or
She didn't
Spencer.
do anything in this episode. She didn't do anything.
Are there any other topics from this week's episode that you guys want to bring up? Any final thoughts before we move on to news and gossip? because we covered the marijuana, we covered the MVP, we covered how Coop wants revenge, and all of the traumatic flashbacks. Anything else? I mean, we didn't talk too much about the funeral. What were your overall thoughts about that?
It was, what was that? It was the Leon Bridges song that Coop's girlfriend was singing. Literally, first of all, she can really sing. Like, that
Shout
was
out to
amazing.
you, for real.
Yeah, and then
That
whenever...
heightened the emotions, too.
Oh,
I feel like
my
the music
gosh.
coupled with everything else is what got me.
It was like that, and then they did the flashback of Spencer and Shawn with the white rose, and then it got to the end, and they played, like, the actual... Leon Bridges version of the song, and then literally Spencer brought the white rose. That is when I lost it. That's when I was like, I cannot handle it. I can't even talk about it. That's what got me.
Yeah. I mean, they were cutting onions in this episode. Okay. They
Yeah.
were. Who didn't cut onions in their house this episode?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Retweet if you cried.
All right.
Seriously, do retweet that. But yeah, the funeral scene was obviously super depressing. I feel like a lot of times in film and television we see a funeral scene and it's like, whatever. Like, this is just a cliche part of the process. But this
but you
funeral
felt that.
really got into it. Like, the
totally.
total depth of someone that would normally be a statistic in the news was like finally highlighted on television in a way where Shawn was humanized. He wasn't just another part of a random street gang. So that's also important when it comes to like representation in these TV shows. It's just showing like the depth and not the black and white nature of certain characters. But let's move on to our news and gossip segment.
Yay!
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, so for news and gossip, over the hiatus, the entire cast did so many things. They celebrated the holiday season, and they also had their cast wrap party. In addition, Cody Christian, who also plays Asher, had a cute little interview with E.T. where he talked about some of his past shows that he's been on, his past co-hosts like Lucy Hale and Tyler Posey. And he also mentioned that he might want to dabble in some music, and we have a clip for you guys.
Battle.
Myself.
You giving this to yourself?
Yeah.
What? Oh, well, I think you do music, right?
Been working.
I've
yes.
listened to
Yeah.
his raps
Very, very
before
hard.
too. They're
Is the
actually
music
really
bad?
good.
Are they?
They're not bad.
Wait a minute. Wait, do you have a different rap name? Or are you Cody Christian?
It's Cody Christian.
Are we gonna get
Keep
some?
I'm gonna keep it very simple, Cody Christian.
Bold
Are you
move.
dropping an album?
Bold move.
Not an album, but music has always been such a passion of mine. But growing up, I decided to focus on one thing at a time. So I wanted to establish myself here where I felt comfortable enough to be able to come back and find another, I guess, creative expression, another outlet. So for me,
Is this surprising to you
music is
guys?
something
Or
that
I was
do
shocked.
Yeah.
off work,
We
off
sent it
set,
in our
on my
group
own time.
text
I'm
over the
really on
break.
my
I was
microphone and
Yeah.
surprised.
in my own place.
Oh.
So now to be in this place where I can, pursue something that I'm passionate about and then share it with people that know me and have followed me.
Let's hear it, baby.
exciting. I'm really
Yeah, I'm
coming.
like, let's hear the
Well,
rap.
Really, you're kind of lighting up right now, though.
Here
and
we
I'm
go.
gonna put you on the spot, being nervous, but you just said offset, onset. We are on set. Can you give ET Live a little rap moment right now?
You want
Why am I
cold bars?
nervous?
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, please don't
Oh
play.
gosh. All right, yeah. Say, yo, when I'm present, my presence is like a present. I'm evidently the best at it. Futures past, I'm the president's heaven sent.
Rap
Wanna
genius.
learn? Well, I'm the
Okay,
precedent.
Eminem.
Stacking presidents. Oh, yo, want a rose gold Prezi on the wrist. With these verses I'ma spit, I'ma get me 3 of them. One for me, myself, and I, cause I ain't got too many friends. But this flow of mine is so divine, my timing too legit,
loving
feeling
it.
venomous. Ain't
She's
dripping
following
from
him.
She's
my
like husband
fingertips.
material.
Yeah, I was like,
Everything
ooh, that's
that you give me,
bad.
I'm killing it. Now I'm curious. Are you feeling this? Are you feeling this?
I'm feeling this, Cody. Yes, thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was amazing.
That's the first time I've ever done that for like anybody. Just
Ooh, breaking news.
Oh,
Anyways, so Cody Christian was on Pretty Little Liars. He also was on Teen Wolf. So he kind of talked a little bit more about growing up with a little bit of celebrity and how he's been able to deal with it this entire time. Also, over the break, we had Taye Diggs, who hosted the Critics' Choice Awards. And we have a cute little clip. He has a theater background, so he was dancing and he was singing and he was just interacting with the audience, having an amazing time. But he did have this one kind of awkward encounter with Emily Blunt, which we're going to play for you right here.
Mary, Pop it and drop it like it's hot. Oh, drop it like it's hot. Don't be afraid. Touch it.
What?
Drop it like
Touch
okay.
it.
I don't know.
I cannot.
It was a little awkward. Other than that, he definitely killed hosting the Critics' Choice Awards. But yeah, I don't know if she loved the drop it like it's hot that much.
Yeah, it was a little cringe.
it.
But
It
if
was a
anyone's
little
gonna do
cringe.
it, T-Dix will make
Yeah.
it slightly adorable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what I love is like he is such a goofy guy, and he's nothing like his character in this show. So
Yeah.
it was kind of fun to see him out of character for us that have been watching him on the show.
Yeah, he really does have a very warm and inviting personality.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh yeah,
nice
in real
to-
life he's
to
a
see that.
goofball. He's
Yeah.
a goofball.
Yeah, well, thank you
That's
so
all I have for
much
you
for that,
guys.
Sierra.
Thanks for the news and gossip.
Yeah, that was a great segment. We need to do this every single time.
I got you next week.
Yes, thank you. Any final thoughts before closing out today?
I just really want to shout out the writers of All American. Like, I'm so happy that they're showing such a deep storyline and more than just teenage drama that we see every day, on TV. And I loved it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, All American did start off a little bit slow, so I was just like, going through the motions of watching it. But now we're really deep into it. We are crying now. Like, congratulations, this is an amazing show, and I can't wait for the second season. Well, I mean, we still have episodes this season, but I'm excited for where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of going off of what you said, it's just really nice to be able to watch something that's fun and exciting and light, but then like also kind of reminds you exactly what's going on in the world and helps you relate to other people that are so different than you. It's just like a whirlwind of emotions. But yeah, my overall thoughts, I'm just happy that it's like, I love crying. I'm happy that it's like a show that I can cry in. So yeah, those are my overall thoughts.
Yeah, such a cathartic experience where we get to experience everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into predictions for next week now.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
Predictions.
predictions.
I'm not feeling the best about Coop. I feel like she thinks she has the situation under control, and she doesn't. And I think that she's going to get herself into some serious trouble. Also, I know she's had her bumps in the road with Spencer, but I think they're maybe not going to make it through whatever is about to happen because he looks like he might be at his wit's end with dealing with all of this stuff.
Never.
I hope not.
disagree.
I hope not.
With
That's
all
my
of her
prediction.
predictions. But I think Coop got it in the bag, honestly. I think
Hope
she's going to
so.
be very strategic and take Tyrone out. I believe that Leila and Spencer will probably have to become public because Asher's going to do something stupid. I hope Malibu, Barbie, and Jordan freaking stops the relationship, but I think he's probably going to go back to her and say sorry, blah blah blah, but then he's going to eventually find out that she actually did tell and she's really the enemy. I think that's going to happen. And I think because I said Coach Billy was my MVP of the episode, but he's been lying a lot. Okay, he's gonna get caught up eventually. I think he's gonna get caught up in the season finale, whenever that is, in a few episodes. So yeah, I guess those are my predictions.
Yeah, no, I like those, except I don't think Riley's the bad guy. I just think she's slightly
Trouble.
annoying. Yeah. But
Big man.
I don't think she's the bad guy at all. I do think something is gonna be uncovered about Coach's wife. I think there's some weird marital trouble there.
We need that.
And I just want like a little bit more insight into Olivia and
Right?
her boo. Like
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
happened
so
to
where
that?
did he go?
Yeah.
I miss him.
He was so
He's so cute.
Yeah, he was Sierra's favorite.
A little news of gossip, celebrated his birthday over the hiatus.
Wait, how old is he?
They're all like 13. Like they're all so young.
Okay, yeah.
For y'all at home.
Yeah, the
For y'all
excitement
at
just
home.
like the excitement was killed now. You're just like, no, not interested anymore.
Yeah.
As long as he can buy me a drink, I'm fine.
He
Okay.
was, if I do recall, he was at Nobu with his girlfriend.
He's a girlfriend?
They're all booed up.
Wait, is that his Instagram?
I'll give you the tea next week on their relationship.
Okay. I
have to
I'll give you
find
the tea.
that.
This is exciting stuff. Well, until then, guys, this has been a really fun episode. Where can everybody find you on social media?
My name is Sierra. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube at Sierra Chanell.
And you can find me on the gram at the Kris Exclusive.
Hey,
We'll see you
everyone.
next week.
I'm Mina Wahab. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, at Mina Makes Magic. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of All American, and we'll catch you all next week. Thanks.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.